Well, welcome to the Growth Lab. This is the podcast dedicated to the business of beauty and vitality. Today, we are sitting down with Zara Cerni. Am I saying that right?
Cerny.
Cerni,
Cerny.
right. The managing partner behind Nui Aesthetics, which is a med spa in Newport Beach. It's an amazing practice that features many, many unique services. It's absolutely incredible. Let's find out more. This episode is sponsored by Med Spa Accelerator. We help med spas and weight loss clinics solve the bottleneck of inconsistent, unqualified patient leads to achieve a predictable, scalable monthly revenue without staff burnout. Today, we are absolutely thrilled to have Zara here to discuss the future of aesthetics and these unique treatments. Let's get started. Good morning, Zara.
Good morning.
How's everything going over there in California?
It's cold and rainy.
Okay.
Not
All right.
sunny.
Get that. It's just about the same over here in Arizona as well. I'm really excited to dive into your story. I like to frame these conversations pretty simply like past, present, and then future. We're going to start with your origin story, how you got into this demanding and rewarding industry. Then we'll pivot to present reality, what's working, what's causing friction, and what's keeping those doors open. And then finally, we'll look at future outlook, which is your vision for the next 3 to 5 years for the practice and the new practice and the biggest strategic moves that you're planning. That way, we'll cover full spectrum and everything in building a successful clinic. Sound like a good roadmap?
Sounds great.
Awesome. Great. Well, you've been with the company for a few months now over at Nui Aesthetics. Tell me how things have been going over there.
Really well. We're building it from the ground up. So we're working on the EMRs, CRMs, marketing, some advertising, and I'm just building the team. So we're starting, we right now only have 3 providers and we're hoping to add 2 more. And then we'll be able to sustain what our growth and what our vision is. So
Okay. And when did you guys start at the Newport Beach location?
the construction started in September. Well, actually, I should say that the lease was in September, and we started the construction probably second week in October, and it
Okay.
should be complete actually today. So
Oh, today.
yeah,
Okay.
today.
And where can we find you? Can you give us an address? So where is
Yes,
it off of PCH?
it's 20341 Southwest Birch Street. So it's
Okay.
on the Birch corridor in Newport Beach, and it's a beautiful building and it's a beautiful, beautiful space. I'm really excited with all the interiors that are done. Every time I go in, I sit there and I think I can't wait to come to work.
That's amazing. All right. And there's another location opening up as well in Studio
Yeah.
City. Tell us about that.
Okay. Studio City is under construction right now and it will open March. That's what the target date is. With
Okay.
construction, sometimes you don't know. They say this is the date and then they have hiccups and you end up extending that date.
Okay. Right. And your position there is what? You're managing partner, if I understand correctly, right?
Operating partner.
Operating partner. Okay.
Yes.
Great. So pretty close. You were in a CEO role before, weren't you?
No, it was still operating, not in a CEO role. I think I excel in operations. And so I don't kid myself to think I could be a CEO, but
Okay.
operations I'm very, very comfortable with.
Now, tell me, what is the main thing that Nui Aesthetics is really focusing on in terms of treatment for patients? Because when we spoke previously, it was about a broad range of services, but I'll let you tell us.
Okay, we're going to be doing it in phases. Injectables, obviously, is going to be the first thing that we're going to open with, and we're going to have a couple devices. Then we will expand, and we are going to be doing the biostimulators as well. Now, where the expansion is, it depends on where the market is going. It's a rapidly growing market. And, you really have to stay curious, and especially leaders have to stay curious. So things we have to be adaptable. We don't know what.
Yeah.
Yeah, we like I said, we're starting with the injectables, then the devices, and
Okay.
we'll see where that takes us. Yeah,
Okay. Fantastic. Are you also going to be focusing on weight loss?
we have that on the board that we're looking into what the options are for us. At this
Okay.
point, we're not going to do it yet.
Okay. I think that's definitely something that's a high priority for a lot of people, especially coming into New Year. Wouldn't you agree?
Well, it is. Yeah, it is weight loss, but you have to also do it right. I have had
Yeah.
experience in the past where we had a weight loss management company. And it's relearning, refeeding. It's a whole lifestyle that has to be done. It's not a quick and done. So when patients want to be adaptable, when they're willing to actually take those steps and becoming healthier and in the wellness world.
Absolutely. And please stay tuned to the channel. I am actually on Monday going to be interviewing. Her name is Angela, and she is the CEO of Get Thin MD. She scaled the practice. It's telemedicine from 0 to $20 million this year in 2025. It is absolutely mind boggling what they have done. I'm so excited to interview her as well and share insights for a lot of brand new clinic owners like yourself.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's amazing. Well, I'm going to tune in to hear because I'd like to know how she's doing it. It's a GLP.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's telemedicine. Yeah, I'll post it. It's going to be recorded on Monday. That's the one I'm most excited about. That's upcoming.
Yeah,
Um,
that's weight loss is so important for everyone. I mean, and we're all struggling to get to that ideal body weight, and it's an important industry.
it is. But let me get focus back in on you. Tell me what's the biggest goal for Nui Aesthetics in 2026 across both locations.
I think our biggest goal is actually patient care. We have a different attitude towards the med spa industry. I
Okay.
think it should be treated as a five-star experience. And a lot of times people try to rush, people aren't taking that patient on that journey. We believe that obviously the patient is first.
Yeah.
We As they enter the practice, they're entering the front of the house. The front of the house, they're our guest. The
Uh-huh.
back of the house is all clinical. It is patient care.
Uh-huh.
But from the experience that they first walk in to when we do our follow-ups to make sure that they were happy with their treatment, everything should be seamless. So we're really going to take that patient care journey a little further and a little more, I'm going to say, probably we just think that the patient has to come first.
Okay. The patient coming first. What's one of the biggest goals that you're locking down that you got in your sights for 2026? Is it, 5 million in revenue in 2026? Is it a X amount of patients? What's one of the biggest goals?
My goal is the first year, I'd like to see over 2 million in revenue.
2
And
million?
2
Okay.
million. I mean, we're working hard and I'm working hard to build a strong team. And when I say, the patient comes first, that's very true. But if you don't have the team and you don't have the provider that is skilled to actually make the outcome for the patient a happy outcome, you're not going to succeed. My goal is that's number one is the patient outcome, no adverse reactions, and we just keep the retention with the patient. I also think that the patient, this is the experience. When the patient comes in, number one, they're treated appropriately. They're taken back,
Mhm.
they're treated. We follow up with the patient. We are going to be following up
Mhm.
with whatever injectable, whatever treatment they had, and we're going to make sure that they're satisfied. If they aren't happy with anything, we will invite them to come back. I know that our providers are very skilled, but the most important part of the provider is they're emotionally intelligent. And I think that they can grasp if a patient feels not comfortable doing what they're there for, or they're not happy with, well, maybe the journey, that the provider is going to be intelligent enough to say, I'm going to work with you and put you through the journey that you want to be on.
Okay. All right. Okay, that's good. Yeah, how many providers do you have working there at the Newport Beach location?
We have three presently, and I'm
3.
hoping to add two more probably within the next 2 months.
Okay. And with that, I think let's pivot over to present reality. So I want to kind of focus right now kind of where things are coming up right now, obviously, which is you just opened today, so
Yeah.
I guess you may not be able to answer some of these questions right now, but tell me right now kind of like where your current patient acquisition process is. What is the first point of friction or strain that comes up that your team is feeling every day?
When you say strain, what do you mean?
Difficulty, yeah. Any difficulty getting
The
those.
difficulty, well, it's a
Yeah.
very competitive industry. And even the corridor that we're on, there's 27 med spas.
Oh,
So
wow.
there's a lot of
Wow.
competition.
Okay.
But of course, competition is healthy too. So
Yeah.
I don't look at things as a strain. I just look at things we do have hiccups during the day or during you're going to have issues that you're going to be dealing with. But if I think if you stay positive, you stay adaptable, and you stay within your core values, you're going to be it's going to be successful. I've always felt that core values is the most important thing. Once you skew off of that, that's where you're going to have some issues. We're not going to be those trend chasers. We're going to be stable in what we believe and what we stay, but we will be adaptable because things change.
So what is the current patient acquisition process? That's I was trying to get to what your strain is on that.
Okay. I think, well, right now we don't know what that strain is right
Oh,
now for the startup because we haven't really pushed it. We are seeing patients next week and we've
okay.
booked 2 days and we've got five each day. And that's going to be like a little bit of soft opening. Then in
Okay.
January, we are reaching out to patients that the providers it's actually that are coming. They're coming with patients. So those are the patients
I understand
reaching out. Yeah. So
wherever the
we'll be
previous
reaching out to
practice
them. We'll be
was.
scheduling them,
Sorry,
and
go ahead.
yeah, we'll be scheduling and we'll be growing. So
Now, what is gonna set apart Nui Aesthetics from those other 26 med spas in the area, Zara?
I think it's patient care, and it's
Patient care.
what our core values are. It's an experience that we are going to take it to that 5-star level.
Okay.
Many times there are pop-ups everywhere, whether they're in solo salons or they're actually leasing a space. We have one med spa that's in our building right now. She's successful. She's upstairs. She's been in the business for a long time. So
Okay.
that's going to be interesting how that's going to pan out.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's talk about the team. Let's talk about the leadership. Obviously, this is in your operational wheelhouse right there. How do you approach training and retention for your current aesthetic providers, especially when it comes to balancing their clinical experience with the need for sales and conversion skills?
Okay. I believe that we have to give the providers all the tools for their tool belt, and everything has to be, well, obviously it's FDA approved, and these are
Okay.
that actually they've come with. The providers that I look to bring on, they have been in the business at least 5 years, and they've been injecting, or they've been doing the lasers for 5 years.
Okay.
It's not to say that I wouldn't take someone that has a 2-year experience, but that experience level is pretty much an on label. We do a lot of the providers that I brought in, they're off label and on label providers. They've gone through master programs, they've gone through a lot of training. Training is extremely important. We are blessed that we have Allergan, which is very close to us, and they have the AMI Center, which is their training center. It's an opportunity where providers can go and they can actually get trained, whether it's with cadavers or injectables or just even the business part. So that's really, really nice. But also, they give us support. They'll bring in trainers where we try to get training every 3 months. We
Okay.
have also Juvo or Evolus. They've given the opportunity also. We can go to their headquarters and we can get training. Training is essential. You can always learn, even though you have gone through Botox injections or any of the neurotoxin injections, even if you listen to another trainer, you can come away with another pearl and that add it to your tool belt.
Yeah, yeah, that's exactly how we feel about the Growth Lab podcast here. So a lot of med spa owners can learn from each other, learn from the CEOs and learn from what's working and what's not working and helping each other through those processes, especially when you're just opening your doors too. A lot can go wrong and you want to make sure everything goes smoothly, right?
Right. Well, that's one of the reasons that we're only starting with 3 providers. I could push it and start with 5. I just want to get the flow and the stream of the office going, working appropriately, and then build on that.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, cool. Well, I got another one for you. If how do you measure the lifetime value of the patient and what's the most surprising factor that you found contributes to long-term loyalty?
Well, long-term loyalty, number one is outcome. Obviously, the patient experience. I think follow-up is very important. I do say with staff, I say ego. If you have an ego, leave it at the door. Don't bring it
Mhm.
through the door. You can pick it up on your way out and enjoy it outside this office. So I think that has a lot to do with it. Patients are become family. I have to say, from my healthcare with family practice all the way through aesthetics, you meet people along the way, but you also want to retain that patient or that individual that you've had. And I think that's
Mhm.
going to be the most important. And if we do right by the patient, make them feel comfortable, give them the outcome they want, don't give them an adverse reaction, they're going to be the person that's going to bring the next one. I think growing organically is the safest and easiest way. Instead of advertising and saying we're the trendsetter or whatever, I like the word of mouth over that type of, bringing in the patients just because you do the Instagram right. I think you have to have a presence on Instagram. I think you have to have a website. I think those are very, very important. But is that going to bring the patient in? I think the best way to bring the patient is an organic way.
Yeah, or a referral, right?
Well, yes, by referral.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely. That's one of the best ways. "Oh, you treated my friend. She's,
Yes.
so happy with it, the outcome of the treatments. I need to get on the calendar immediately." That's probably the best thing.
And
Okay,
all
that's awesome.
there's one other thing, that with my experience in the industry, we've
Mhm.
treated the patient and then they have a young daughter that is become of age to get the treatment and they bring the daughter in. That's trust. That's the most
Yeah.
important thing. And when that happens, it makes my heart feel good.
Yeah, absolutely. What's your philosophy on delegating core business functions? The wheelhouse that you're in, which is operational, which would be like lead generation or appointment management versus keeping them in house. What's your philosophy on that?
Keeping people in house, you mean you're talking about staff or you're talking about patients?
I'm talking about delegating the core business functions like lead generation or appointment management versus keeping them in house, like outsourcing that or keeping that in house. What
That's
is your
definitely
thoughts
in
on that?
it's in-house. I
Oh,
mean,
is it? Okay.
it's in-house. We make our appointments, everything is done. When we speak to the patient, we can text them, we ask them, "How do you want us to communicate with you?" But I think I'm very much part of that. I don't leave it only just to the receptionist or, the nurse. I do get involved with the patient. I want them to feel comfortable. I have to feel that
Mhm.
vibe when they leave. I know that they're going to be coming back. So no, we don't outsource that.
Well, what I mean by that is, are you relying purely on those other providers to bring that clientele over to Nui Aesthetics? Or what about, marketing, lead
Okay.
generation? That's what I'm talking about.
Okay. The marketing, which we do have a campaign that's going to be starting in March. Now, we have a CRM that works seamlessly with our EMR, which is really important to find that balance between the two. So when we
Mhm.
do start the advertising, it will be probably through social media. We don't have all this nailed in because we knew that March was going to be the day. So we're discussing options. We're definitely going to do
Okay.
some marketing.
Okay, so
You'll be
none of
hearing,
that's really none of that's locked down just yet,
no,
basically.
it's not
Okay.
like it.
I guess what I wanna know is and what a lot of viewers also on the call that's watching this is, you mentioned your goal for 2026. One of the goals was to get to $2 million in revenue in 2026. I don't know if that's collectively across both locations, or is that just the Newport Beach location?
It's just the Newport Beach location.
Okay, fantastic. If you look at the business today, which, it just opened today, but what would you say right now is the single heaviest anchor that's dragging that progress down? What is one broken system something that's not implemented yet that if fixed would solve half the other problems on the list?
Nothing.
Nothing?
No, I don't think anything's broken yet. And the system, I mean, obviously we've built everything from the ground up. The gal that's his chief of staff is amazing. We've worked as a team to put, our EMR in working, the CRM, and we're just a great team right now that I don't think we're going to have much broken systems. I really don't.
Well, I'm talking about the plan to get to that $2 million number. I'm talking about your roadmap, right, in your
Oh,
mind
okay.
to get there.
The roadmap is just to stay true to we're going to be very strong with injectables. Botox and skin drives the patient into the practice. So that's going to be the lead. Dermal fillers are important, biostimulators, and the devices. Most of the time with the devices, the patients don't know to come in and ask, I need a Moxie or I need a Halo treatment. What they do know is they want to get rid of the wrinkles. They want to look happier. They don't want to look as tired. So that's what's going to drive them in. And that's skin, that's neuromodulators. And, the dermal fillers will be the third. And
Okay.
then we'll build from there and take them into the devices.
And are you planning on pricing competitively based on all the competition in the area? Or
Oh,
are you like where do you plan on falling on the pricing model?
Oh, we're definitely going to be competitive. We've looked at every one of our competitors and we've
Yeah.
placed ourselves very strategically. So I think it's going to be good.
Okay. All right. Well, what is the website that some of our viewers can go to learn more if they're in California and in Newport Beach to check out some of your services?
Okay, it's Nui Aesthetics and it's spelled and aesthetics.com.
Okay. All right. Fantastic. And thank you so much for being so candid about the operational reality. I really wish I could have dug a little bit deeper, but since it's just opening, it's hard to get that data, right? It really is, but I'm sure that you're not, purely on business just coming in from the aesthetic, providers that you're coming to bring in. Obviously, you mentioned the marketing and everything else that you got going on as well. That's going to be launching in March. So you've got some stuff that's going to be coming further in the future in the next few months. So yeah, I think everybody should come down to Nui Aesthetics and check it out. Definitely come say hi to Zara and some of the
Yeah.
clinicians that are in there. Gosh, what other questions do I want to ask for you? I want to ask a couple more because we're just about out of time and we're at the 25-minute mark. I think we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. Yeah,
Okay.
I think that's about it because yeah, that is such a fantastic breakdown, Zara. Is there anything else that you'd like to add?
No, meet me at Nui.
Meet her at Nui. Okay. Well, thank you so much for being so candid about the operational reality. We have covered a lot of ground from your origin story to the present moment of where you are right now in the Studio City location, obviously opening in March. I know that our audience is going to can definitely resonate with new clinics like Nui that's just opening up in California. With that, we're going to go ahead and wrap up the recorded portion of the Growth Lab. One thing, and we're sitting at about 25 minutes, so we're actually doing really, really good on time. This is exactly where I wanted to be at. There was obviously some questions that I wanted to get answered that I could not get answered, obviously, because you're just basically opening the doors up today, right?
Yeah.
You're actually going to be open during till 5 today?
No, actually, we're going to be opening actually next week. And then we're going to be opening, we'll be 9 till 5. We'll be there 9 till 5. And we're
Oh, so
seeing,
Monday. So
yes.
Monday you open. Okay, okay. I wasn't sure if today you were open or not. Okay,
No, the
fantastic.
construction started today. The finish today, I
Okay.
should say.
Oh,
Finished.
okay. Okay, fantastic. Great. And so we already got the address down there. There is one thing that caught my curiosity. When you mentioned that the heaviest anchor thing is just, don't really know what kind of how the patients are going to be, the flow is going to be coming in until you actually turn the faucet on and you open up the doors in January. Obviously, as I mentioned earlier, that's exactly kind of what we specialize in is lead generation for aesthetic spas. I'm not sure if it'd be a good fit yet, but would you be opposed to a 20-minute chat next week to see if we could help you lift that anchor?
Oh, that'd be great. Yeah. Give me
Fantastic.
2 weeks. Give me
Yeah.
two.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Definitely into next year for sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see what I have available on the calendar. And this is just a discovery call. It's just questions. That's all it is. Let's see. I have the 6th, the 7th, and the 8th that's open. What is good for you?
Let's do the 8th.
Okay.
Let's do the 8th.
All right. You should be seeing that 1 second here. What time?
Mornings are best.
California, your time zone, of
Yeah,
course.
mornings are best. 9 o'clock would be great.
Okay. Give me 1 second. I've got Thursday the 8th, 9 o'clock. There you go. All the same information good?
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right, sounds good. Just about done with that. There we go. Schedules, not bad. Now you should be seeing another tab that's at the very top. Please don't close it just yet. Are you still there?
Yeah, I am.
Oh, okay, cool. Please don't close it just yet. It's actually going to be, I'm going to hit stop on the recording at this point, and then it's going to stay still recording there for a second. So just give me 1 second.